First time I ever played with makeup that I can remember has to be maybe when I was like 12 or so. I remember my mom and dad went out and my sister and I went up to my mom's vanity and started going through her drawers, and I put on this lipstick because I thought it looked so cool because it was green, but when I would put it on, nothing was happening. It was like a gloss, and I was like, cheap, and I just put it back in the drawer. And later on I realized that it was like one of those mood lipsticks that change with like your body temperature. And so when my mom got back, she just totally busted me, and we both got spanked pretty hard for that. But I think that was my first time truly fucking around with makeup. So I thought it would be super cool to ask all my friends what their first makeup memory is.
My mom would not let me wear black eyeliner, and I brought it in my bag to school, and I wanted to wear it for a photo day. So when I got to school, I went immediately to the bathroom and put all the black eyeliner around my eyes and smudged it out with my finger and took my school pictures. And when my mom got them back, she wasn't angry. She was very impressed at how I blended it, actually, I think is what she told me.
My mom's makeup organizer, when I was little, it was forbidden to touch. It was like this huge tower with little drawers everywhere. And I just remember watching her get ready in the morning, and she just loved pulling them out and taking everything out. And she was like, don't touch my makeup, it's expensive. And every time she would go to work and I would come home from school, I would play in it and steal her stuff. She caught me when the principal called in 8th grade and said, your son is wearing red eyeshadow to school. And she said, well, is he getting good grades? And the principal said, he is a straight A student, but this worries us. And she goes, well, then let him be himself.
In the 70s when I was a kid, probably around 6 or 7, my favorite thing to do was to sit and watch my mom get ready for work. And she had one of those 3-fold makeup mirrors with the circle and the lights, and you could move the lighting for daytime, office, or evening, and it would change the color of the lights. And I just used to love watching her put her makeup on and get dressed and put her jewelry on. She had a jewelry box, and I was fascinated with it. I loved it. I mean, my parents and their friends were pretty open, and there's a Polaroid that says Greg as girl, age 4.
I used to steal my mom's makeup and put it on all my stuffed animals and stuff, my dolls, all that stuff. I remember when I was about 12, my mom allowed me to get a clear mascara and a slight tinted lip gloss, and that was a very exciting day. So I remember being very excited going to Boots, the chemist, to go and pick those guys up.
I was in middle school. I had just discovered eyeliner. I used to wear such heavy eyeliner only on the bottom waterline, and it made my eyes look crazy. But I had a red, a black, and a brown lipstick, and I tried to leave the house wearing the lipstick with the eyeliner. My dad lost his mind and made me take it off, and I put my makeup in my backpack, walked to school, put it on in the bathroom, and then before I went home, I wiped it all off so he had no idea. Sorry, Dad.
I was 8 years old, and my grandmother was always getting ready all the time, and so I would watch her. And so one day she finally let me put makeup on her, and then I thought she really had a lot of guts, because then she would go out in public like that. So I thought that was pretty cool, that here I was 8 years old and not knowing what the hell I was doing, and she was totally all about it.
Seeing my friend's older sister get one of those Maybelline, the red pencils, and light it with a lighter and put it on, and then me trying it and burning my eye.
I can remember my first red lipstick, and it was by Wet n Wild, and it was just this really bright, glossy cherry red, and I just thought that was, it's such a bold thing to have red lipstick, and I was probably in middle school, so that's the first thing I can remember. And plucking out my eyebrows.
My first makeup memory would have been when I was 6, I think. I have 2 cousins, roughly my same age, and I feel like they got together with my sister and did me all up. I don't remember if I liked it or didn't like it. I don't know that I felt strongly one way or another, but I know my dad really hated it. He's a real homophobe.
I remember going camping with my family, and we met our neighbor in another tent. Was a beautiful girl. I was around 10 years old and she was about 14, and I remember her having this amazing bright blue eyeshadow, and from that moment I was like, that one day is gonna go on my eyeballs.
Red lipstick, not being able to wear it because I wasn't allowed to.
Honestly, I liked putting makeup on dolls. Like, that's the only thing I liked doing with dolls when I was little. I didn't really care about dolls, but I'd put makeup on them.
I must have been like 5 or 6, and I had a cat sweater on, which is very ironic. But I just absolutely painted myself, and I had like blue and green and purple metallic eyeshadow up past my brows, and I had hot pink lipstick all around my face. And my parents took a bunch of pictures because they thought it was so funny, and I look at them all the time and think that that must have been like the beginning of it all. So
my first makeup memory was a makeup kit that had like every single color in a little purse from JCPenney when I was like 7. And I begged for it for like 6 months.
When you're 12 years old and you're learning on your mom's liquid eyeliner and you decide to wear it to school, and PE is one of the classes. So let's just say Alice Cooper was really, really my motivation till I got home. And yeah, I looked like hell. I looked like a little tweaker out of Grunge Rock. It was rad.
I remember being in like 2nd grade and the school nurse was babysitting me, and as soon as my parents left, I ran upstairs and went and started putting on mascara and like lipstick, and I came downstairs and she was like, "Are you wearing mascara?" And I was like, "Nope."
My mom used to have this little like cane basket in her bathroom, and she had this, it was probably a terrible brand, like Wet n Wild or something, bright purple magenta lipstick, and I used to smear that shit on and then put like a big black beauty mark above it. And I thought I looked awesome with it. I was probably like 7 years old, so that's my first makeup memory.
Do you remember those like green CoverGirl compacts? Okay, well in middle school, the cool girls would always wear them like in their back pocket, and it would even put like an indent in their back pocket, and I just remember looking at them like, oh my God, like I want a CoverGirl compact so bad because they're so cool.
Making fun of my mom when she used to line her lips. Like, I remember like she'll do like really dark lip liner with like light lipstick, and I would always tell her like, "Mom, that looks like a mustache," you know, like the top of it. So that's the first.
I was 5 years old and I was at my brother's preschool graduation, and I don't know how I got my hands on some dark berry lipstick, but I wore it and I felt fabulous, and there's actually a photo of me 5 years old wearing dark berry lipstick, and I knew that was it. I already knew what I loved.
Dad, what is your first makeup memory?
Like when I was a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, back then, way back then, several centuries ago, makeup in where I grew up was kind of like borderline sinful. Like certain people that walked the streets and worked in the streets, that kind of, it was, yeah. So in the environment that I was brought up, it was kind of had a connotation of bad stuff, anything makeup. So people had just a wash face, bushy eyebrows, and
did your mom wear makeup at all?
I never saw her on such a thing, but no, just natural.
Do you think it looks better when girls are natural?
Definitely not.